Namaste. I'm Dr. Robert, and today on 5-ish Minutes with Dr. Robert, my subject is immortality. Now, immortality is a big subject, and certainly there are individuals who in Indian tradition are said to be literally immortal, not at all subject to death in any way, including beings like Vibhishana and Hanuman. Hanuman is said to live yavat chandra divakaro, until the sun and moon exist. And there are other beings in a similar condition, and they have been blessed by, in the case of Hanuman and Vibhishana, the Rama avatara, to experience this. There are other beings who have achieved a similar kind of, we could almost call it absolute immortality. The rishis, the munis, the nats, the siddhas, they have gone beyond the limitations of the body altogether, and they've entered into a situation where they can generate bodies when they need to, and they can reabsorb those bodies when they need to. They are totally beyond the capabilities of almost everybody. But there is another class of beings who experience relative immortality. That is to say, they may be able to survive for hundreds or even thousands of years by doing something to alter the physiology of their organisms. One way you can do this is with substances that you can obtain external to you. For example, Vimalananda used to say that the use of herbs can keep you alive for up to 500 years. But if you use minerals, especially mercury, you may be able to achieve 2,000 years, maybe even more. Which sounds like a lot unless you think about 10,000 or 100,000 years or whatever, or Kakabu Shundi, who is a crow that is said to have lived for several billions of years. In addition to external things like herbs and minerals, there is said to be a substance called amrta that is present in the human body and also present in the bodies of animals like elephants. And that if you know the technique, you can extract it from yourself or from someone else or from an elephant. But then you have to know how to prepare it. You have to know how to consume it. And it is also not something that obviously is easily available. If everybody knew how to use it, they'd be using it already. There is another method that has became popular over the past few centuries, and that is what is called parakaya pravesha, or the movement from one body to another. You live your normal lifespan in one body, and then you discover you're about to die, but then you happen to locate a corpse of someone who died of a disease, for example, that could be rectified by someone like you who has a great deal of personal power. And then you move your consciousness into that body, you expend some of your Shakti in order to rehabilitate that body, and you live in that body for a few decades until it wears out, and then you find a new body. It is said that there are yogis who have been doing this for quite a number of centuries. And then there is the method, of course, of going into samadhi, like our Guru Maharaj Ram Biswambar Das Ji did. You find a way, you're not moving around in the world, but you're sitting quietly, you go into samadhi, and you may be there. We don't know how long he was in samadhi, probably several decades before the temple collapsed on top of him. And then it was collapsed for 200 years before the Archaeological Survey of India dug him out. And then he was alive for another 90 years before he finally decided that he had had it with that body. So there are many different approaches to living longer than the average human life. And why would you want to do that at all? Because you would not want to be limited by the fact that once you get to be 70 or 80, you really have started to understand what it means to be alive. And then if you die off, you're just going to have to start again when you're reborn. So even though immortality is not generally available to most of us, it is quite possibly a worthy thing to aspire to. This is Dr. Robert saluting all the immortals.